So with that, we're going to move to our next speaker. Monica, I see no question there. I'm going to move to our next speaker, who's actually the youngest speaker we have today, 14 years old. And it'll be really nice if a couple of you can switch on your videos as a little bit of encouragement for him. He's Ranveer Singh, 14 years old. And if any of us think we are stretching and leaving our corporate jobs to make time for this, imagine him. He has school, and God knows what he kind of told them, saying, I'm going to be spending time here. So that's Ranveer for you, a recipient of a Mock United Nations Award, avid tennis player, an actor, passionate actor, having played the role of a soldier, a mafia don, Captain Hook, and more. A history enthusiast. His parents, I think, want him to study artificial intelligence while he wants to go down and become an anthropologist. So that's a little bit of a tussle going on. And a recreational cyclist. So with that, I'm offer you Ranveer to you. Ranveer, all yours.
Hi everyone, happy International Yoga Day. So I'm going to tell you a story about my belief in myself and share a poem that's very close to my heart. The greatest possible motivation is the urge to beat yourself, to better yourself, to constantly strive for something greater. Not something great, something greater. I was once in the pits. I was in tennis training for 2 hours, 3 times a week, and going to the courts every day, usually with a partner, but often alone. I showed up to my school's tennis team trials with much confidence. I approached this as a mere formality, assuming I would get in swiftly. For the next 2 weeks, I believed with conviction that it was a done deal. Suddenly, a tsunami overran this confidence. As the piece of paper stapled to the wall denied what I thought was a fact, I had not gotten into the team. The dismay of the fact brought along with it a stubborn goal. The goal to get into the tennis team. What I thought would have doused my efforts rather gave fuel to it. My Achilles heel seemed to be my serve. So I practiced every day. Hundreds and hundreds of balls served in flashes. I served and served and served. And then one day I noticed a sharp pain in my elbow. It was diagnosed as tennis elbow. At its worst, I could barely pick up a mug, let alone play tennis. I went through many painful hours of physiotherapy. The physiotherapist said that she was going to give me a massage each time I came to clear your knots, she said in her strong Irish accent. The massage was more like trying to turn different muscles in your arm to mush. She even gave me exercises with an odd band made from rubber. I mean, it was hard work getting this arm back into shape. When it was finally better, my coach made me change the style in which I hit the ball. So most of the pressure would go to my chest rather than my wrist and forearm. My coach gave me an imperative tip. He explained that the school was looking for someone to play matches, not just hit balls. I played many matches from then on, and in one of the tournaments, my team even came second. After practicing myself for so long, it was no longer my Achilles heel, but rather my most valuable asset. The grit and perseverance led me into the tennis team the next trials. Remember, you are the master of your own destiny if you want. You can rewrite anything. You are your own boss, but only if you believe in yourself. And now I'd like to share a poem that's very close to my heart, and by a poet called Edgar Guest. He was a British-born American poet, known for his poems which had an optimistic outlook to everyday life. And this one is called Equipment. Figure it out for yourself, my lad. You've all that the greatest of men have had. 2 arms, 2 hands, 2 legs, 2 eyes, and a brain to use if you would be wise. With this equipment, they all began. So start for the top and say I can. Look them over, the wise and great. They take their food from a common plate and similar knives and forks they use, with similar laces they tie their shoes. The world considers them brave and smart, but you've all they had when they made their start. You can triumph and come to skill. You can be great if you only will. You're well equipped for what fight you choose. You have legs and arms and a brain to use. And the man who has risen, great deeds to do, began his life with no more than you. You are the handicap you must face. You are the one who must choose your place. You must say where you want to go, how much you will study, the truth to know. God has equipped you for life, but He lets you decide what you want to be. Courage must come from the soul within. The man must furnish the will to win. So figure it out yourself, my lad. You were born with all that the great have had. With your equipment, they all began. Get hold of yourself and say, I can. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my story with you all. Good afternoon.
That was wonderful, Ranveer. Can we give him some whatever emojis or hearts and all right, so lots of claps and hearts coming your way, Ranveer. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
That was wonderful. That's wonderful. And please stay on for a moment in case there is a question someone has for you. How do you manage to do so much?
Oh, that's a good question. So I believe in living an intense life, you know. So if you're working, work with intensity. And if you're enjoying yourself, make sure you enjoy yourself with the same intensity. Make sure that you work hard and you play hard.
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. So is there any other quick question for Ranveer before we let him go back to his studying?
Pardon?
How are you so intensive at this young age?
It's just, you know, I learned this early on that, you know, because now I'm in 10th grade, so it's very stressful life, I guess. Of course, not as stressful as most of you here, but you know, we have to work long hours, do loads of projects. So we've learned, we've adapted, you know, to our lifestyle. You know, okay, there's going to be lots of work, but all this means is we have more and more fun with the free time we have. Thank you.
Ranveer, I'm guessing that one of your inspirations is you yourself. But in addition to that, if at all I'm right, in addition to that, who else or what else is your source for inspiration? Where do you get your intensity from?
Well, I have, you know, I think the people that have made it, right? Like, because I play tennis, so we can say Roger Federer, Nadal, you know, all these people. Now that they've made it, you realize that they started out the same as you, you know. So anyone that made it was once the same as you. So all these people are my inspiration, and also poets. Some poets like Edgar Guest and Tom, I forgot his name, but there's a poet, right? And their words, they inspire you so much, you know. And also when you agree with something, it's so much easier to follow it. So that's what I think.
Good. All the best, Ranveer.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ranveer. That was absolutely wonderful. Straight from your heart, straight from the gut. And thank you for taking questions. Continue to believe in yourself. And I want you to know you may be perhaps the youngest boy to be on ever this large a Zoom stage of 100 people in India. So let's kind of figure out and see if you made history. I'll stay in touch. Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you.